Hi guys, welcome back to the channel today. Now in today's video we are going to talk about the state of video game collecting and what I'm seeing out and about. Now as you know, I usually go out weekly, maybe bi-weekly, and look for video games. We hit up all the thrift stores, game stores, pawn shops, stuff like that. And what I'm seeing is getting a little bit concerning. It's getting really difficult to build the collection for a reasonable price. So we're going to go over some of the reasons why and just the mood in general around game collecting. So we need a tall frosty one for this, and we're gonna get right to the video. Okay, so before we do get started on the video, guys, I am gonna list a few of my Game Gear games on eBay. I'm gonna list the Sonic game, and I got a couple of these X-Men ones, Mojo and Legacy. Now the X-Men games, I think Mojo is around a $30 and Legacy is probably $20, but this has a damaged front cover, so maybe $15. Not hugely expensive, and this one's not expensive either, 10 or 15 bucks maybe. Anyways, I'll give you the reasons why I'm going to sell this stuff. So as for the Game Gear, as you know guys, I'm a Sega guy, but to me buying a Game Gear is a gamble, and I know you can play these on the other handhelds, like the Retron stuff. They have handhelds, you can play these games. Am I interested in that? No. Will I ever play them? No. So it's time to move on from them. I probably had about 10 Game Gear games. I've listed them all on eBay. I've sold a couple already. A lot of cheap stuff. The X-Men ones are the two best ones I have, guys. The rest are like Sonics and stuff. So no big loss there. I'm going to sell those, and I'm going to try to turn them into maybe Xbox One or 360 stuff. Okay, guys, as for what we picked up on Friday, first is Wii U Assassin's Creed. Now, I paid $3 for all of these games, so they were super cheap, not expensive. Now, again, Tim and I are collecting on the Wii U because it's a console that has a very small library, about 180 games or so. So it's a console that you can actually collect most of the games on, and it's not going to be too expensive. The games for this are fairly cheap still, so keep an eye out for them if you do like the Nintendo stuff. And then as for the Xbox One, again, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you are looking to start a collection on a semi-modern console, the Xbox One or PlayStation 4 is the way to go. There's a ton of games that are really cheap, and you can pick these up at pawn shops. Now, you're not going to get like the Grail games cheap, you know, but the standard games are very cheap. And again, I paid $3 each for these. They're in really good shape. It's the two Dead Rising games. Just zombie fun. And as you guys know, a lot of my viewers that do watch the channel, I've been trying to shift my focus from just buying a bunch of fodder and stuff that I don't really want or need and focusing on what I'm buying now. I am focusing on games that are not online required to play for these platforms. I just don't want to be hooked into having to always be online. I want to go, you know, if we have a camper or we're going somewhere, and as you guys know, we do want to buy a camper, then I can throw one of my 360s or Xbox Ones in it, probably the Xbox One, and play a bunch of games offline if we are bored. These are long road trips. We usually go out west from Canada. I'm in Ontario, Canada, and it takes us 21 hours just of driving to get out of our province to go out west, guys. So very big province. Canada's a very big country, so there's lots of downtime in the evenings. And for the kids as well, they like playing the games. So online games, not so much. Single player stuff, games that don't require a connection or internet to play, that's what I'm headed towards now. Okay guys, so we'll get to the meat of the video here, and it really is just the frustrating part of game collecting and how frustrating it has become for the average game collector. Now, I watch a few channels on YouTube. Some of them do buy and sell to collect. Some of them don't. They don't like doing that. They think it's wrong, and that's fine. Whatever your opinion on it, you know, that's totally cool by me. You do what you got to do to build your collection. But one thing I did notice, and I'll give him a little shout out here, is Easy, and he did say everybody is reselling now, and I have to agree with him here. You go into any thrift store and it's just a mob of resellers. You go out to yard sales, it's a mob of resellers. You really can't escape it, and they're even picking in pawn shops and stuff. Now, our one pawn shop, and this is one pawn shop, and we're surrounded by two cities. One is about 125,000 population, the other one's about 80. And one pawn shop out of them all still sells cheap games like this Xbox, you know, PS4 and stuff. The rest of them, not so much. And even our local thrift store, they used to sell every game for $2, guys, and now they are individually pricing these games. They started pricing Rock Band games at like $15. It's absolute stupidity. It is what it is. Everybody's greedy. I don't know what to tell you there. So the problem here, guys, is that everyone has become a reseller. You go on Marketplace. If something is a decent deal, it's just snapped up and it's gone like that. So the only place to buy these, pawn shops, yard sales, Marketplace, or eBay, everything is marked up. And the problem with this system we have now of everyone reselling is, a used game might get bought at a yard sale for a few bucks or something. So that person that bought it, they can definitely charge an eBay price or they can choose not to. That's up to them. But a lot of these people will sell it to another person or a game store at a discount, and then that store sells it to another person with their markup on it. So really, the game that was bought originally for a couple bucks at a yard sale has like 2 or 3 extra markups in it. It doesn't even have just one single middleman anymore. It's unfortunate. Same if you put it on eBay. The person that buys it at the yard sale, they have to pay eBay for them to be able to sell it on that platform. It's just, they're adding multiple middlemen to every transaction now, and it's made it so nothing is really cheap anymore. And you go on YouTube, you see these big YouTubers, Chase, Caleb, all these guys. It's the same sort of deal. They'll go and pick from stores, they'll pick from people, they have their minions out running around buying stuff for them, and then they buy it at like 70% of what they believe they're going to sell it for, and then they'll sell it to some other schlub on their whatnot or whatever. And again, it's kind of like a giant pyramid Ponzi scheme. If you get in on the ground floor, you're going to end up winning. And if you're at the middle part, you're probably going to win too. If you're up at the top, getting that 20% margin, I don't know. I don't know how these game stores are going to survive doing that, guys. People are just not as interested in paying up for these as they once were. That's what I'm seeing at the stores now. They're not that busy, and the inventory has become very stagnant. Now, the collecting landscape in general is not what it once was, especially for new games. They are phasing out real media, guys. This is no big secret. There's just not a big selection of games in your local Walmart, Best Buy anymore. And a lot of the Nintendo Switch stuff is download only. You'll get the game case, but who really wants to buy a game case just to have the code in it? I don't really see the point of it. You might as well just get it digitally. Yeah, it looks nice on the shelf, but does it really matter at the end of the day? No, it doesn't. So as they phase these out, guys, collecting on new consoles is just going to become a thing of the past, and that's the reality. That's why they're pushing AI. They want all the computing to be done online. And even they will probably phase out these consoles at some point. They'll make it so that you can play on the cloud on your old hardware, and they won't be selling consoles anymore. They'll just be software sellers, and the collecting at that point will just be non-existent. Now, if you are a person like me that goes to the odd convention, whether it be toys, games, sports cards, and stuff, this is a real greasy part of the collecting scene that has totally ruined it for everybody. Because before these conventions even open, the dealers are swapping inventory. They're undercutting each other, buying their stuff, then marking it up. I had a viewer on my channel mention that, yeah, before the doors open, dealers will go, they'll pay even above retail for these games, and they'll mark them up even more, just trying to catch people off guard, getting into the hype of being at a convention and, oh, I gotta buy something because I'm here. And these guys are greasy as fuck, guys. Do not kid yourself. They're not your friend. They're just trying to make a bunch of money for themselves. And this part has really ruined it for me. And I'm really getting my eyes open about how much hoarding is going on by these people. The game stores, too, I get it. They need inventory. They need to sell them. But the conventions, you go to these, man, and they will literally have hundreds of copies of the same rare game. They expect you to pay up, and it's all just a ruse, guys. Don't fall into this trap of that if you go to a convention, you have to buy something. Me personally, I go to the card conventions with the guys. I have no intention of buying anything. I just like hanging out and the experience of looking at this stuff. And I'm good with it. I come home with my money in my wallet, and I'm good with that. Now, the next thing we're going to dive into is YouTube. And I am guilty as charged too for telling people you can sell a certain game for this amount of money and that, guys. And I totally get it. Again, it's content. It is what it is. But a lot of these large YouTube resellers, again, Chase, Caleb, Rick, Riff, They are in it for the hustle, guys. They're in it to make money. They get all their little dudes running around to buy them stuff. They get it at a discount. They get it at 50% of eBay values, and then they turn around and sell it for whatever on Whatnot or eBay. Now, they may not get full value on Whatnot, but really, they're not doing any of the work, guys. They literally have a buy list. Some idiot sends them a big box full of Pokemon shit. They send them a check. Then they put it on Whatnot, and then they sell it all in a day and make thousands of dollars. It's a pretty easy gig if you ask me. I don't see any easier way to make money doing this. Again, people should not be going out to every damn yard sale, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, and buying up all the inventory and selling it to these clowns so they can make a bunch of money off the backs of people that are doing all the legwork. I've always hated this, and I really don't like it. And for me personally, if I'm the one going out to a yard sale, I'm going to sell the game. I'm not going to send this to another company for them to make money. Now, guys, please do not take offense to this. If you are out buying and selling this shit, I really don't care. You're going to do what you feel is best for you, and that's totally fine. For me personally, if I'm going out to a yard sale and I buy a copy of Mario Kart for $1, I'm not going to send it into one of these idiots for $20 when I could literally put it on eBay in like 30 seconds and sell it for 40. Now I know there's fees and, going to the post office, whatever. I'm still going to sell it and make the money off it. I'm not going to trade my time and give them a discount on what I bought. I'm just not. As simple as that. And if you are doing this and you're happy with doing that, that's fine too. Me personally, guys, if you're doing all the work, you might as well get the rewards out of it. Am I condoning all this reselling and stuff at this point? No, because it's gotten out of hand. But if you have to do it to make ends meet and that as a side hustle, more power to you. But keep the money for yourself and quit supporting these friggin' idiots, dude. And just on a side note of that, guys, these guys do make video game collecting seem glamorous and fun, and everyone's making tons of money. And that is not a reality here. You have to get out and pound the pavement. You're beating the shit out of your car. You're spending hours and hours. Again, in the summers, I go yard sailing on Saturday every day, no matter what. And then Sundays we usually go to. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of fuel, wear and tear, effort to build your collection. It's not easy. And half the time you don't find shit, guys. It's not as easy as they would portray. All right, guys. So we're just going to touch on the thrift stores here, as this is a big bone of contention for me. Now, these companies are getting this stock for free. Yeah, they might pay 10 cents a pound for stuff or whatever. Anyways, our local store, as I mentioned, gets the stuff 100% free. I donate there all the time. It's a charitable thrift. They don't even pay their employees because it's a church group that runs it. So the only overhead they have is the rent in the storefront, which is very cheap for the little store it's in. Now, they're charging retail in these games, eBay prices, whatever. I'm not going to support that. I'm not going to donate that anymore. I've had enough of this greed and stuff. I'll put this stuff at the side of the road. People can pick it up and they can do whatever the hell they please with it. Whatever. Now, these thrift stores, guys, once they found out that everyone was reselling this shit, the gig was up. Now, you can go into any thrift store now and you might find something that someone missed. Now, we have found G.I. Joe stuff that people missed. The people in the store were actually pissed off that we found them because you got a deal. And this is not a lie. The lady was genuinely pissed off that Tim and I found a Dragonfly, a hydrofoil, and a couple other vehicles in there for like $6. She's totally pissed. It's like, lady, you got the shit for free. Don't be so goddamn greedy. Like, seriously, like, let people get a deal on this stuff. It's going to kill collecting in the long run, guys. No one's paying up for these. The only time you ever get a deal in these now is if someone misses something. It's absolutely disgusting. I get everyone's got to pay bills and stuff and that, but you're getting the inventory for free. Pass on a bit of a deal for this. You guys know yourself, if you go look in their stupid showcase, oftentimes the games in there are priced higher than what they actually are on eBay or at a game store or something. It's so stupid, man. Quit supporting these guys. Don't donate to them. If you have video games or something, if you're going to donate it, put it at the side of the road for somebody. Put it on Marketplace that, has a kid or something. I've done this numerous times with consoles, guys. Just at Christmas time or in general, I've given away some to families in need. Now, when someone messages me on this, I do check out their Facebook profile. I check out their friends, and you can get a gauge of someone if they're just in it to resell or something. I don't give them the time of day. I don't do that. If someone genuinely needs it for a kid, or it's someone through a family or friend that says, hey, this person does need it for their kid. A lot of the time, autistic parents need this to help them cope day to day. Totally understand that. And I've given away a few older Xboxes and ones to families like that. And I've done this numerous times, and it doesn't hurt to pay it forward, guys. I know I've found tons of awesome deals at yard sales myself, and people have given me deals. It doesn't hurt to pass this on once in a while. And I think as a society, we've just gotten into this. Everything's got to be about money, greed. I need to get as much money out of this crap as I can. I need to take advantage of people and rip them off and stuff. It is really terrible, but it's just how things have gone in the past 10 years. Really been amplified by COVID, what happened during that, where everyone was buying up all this stuff and paying exorbitant prices for it. Collecting for me has become aggravating, annoying. Monetarily, it does not make as much sense anymore. Just a hassle. And I will say, when Tim and I were out at these thrift stores and stuff the other day, we had talked about looking forward to yard sale season coming up. And don't get me wrong, we are looking forward to it. But again, it's a lot of work, like just running around, trying to beat resellers to these places to get some games for our own collection. And as I said, everybody is reselling, guys, and it's really just taking the fun out of collecting in general. Now, I understand this video is kind of ranting, and I'm not really trying to offend anyone. Everyone's out there doing what they got to do. It's just been very frustrating and aggravating for me lately, and I figured I would tell you guys why it's been that way for me. On a side note, we have decided we're going to start not necessarily cutting the cord, but making sure we have a good pile of media and stuff that does not require an internet connection. So I've got a big pile of video games and stuff, guys. I don't really need to worry about that. I'm going to keep adding to that collection. But I think we are going to start picking up some DVD sets and Blu-rays and stuff like that and just keep them kicking around again. We do plan on doing a lot more camper traveling and stuff. So just to have it for that. In Northern Ontario here, when you go through that, there's no cell service. So you pretty much, you can't even look on your phone at TikTok or play YouTube or stuff. Momo's very itchy this time of year, if you're wondering what that noise is. So we're going to start collecting some of those. Not going to go hog wild on it, but we'll get a nice little collection of that. I've got a lot of stuff that I still have remnants that are to sell on eBay out there, so I'll probably scab some of those too as well, guys. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, I do appreciate it. We have some family stuff going on that I'm probably not going to be uploading as much for the next few weeks. It might be a little longer than that. I'll try to get a video or two out a week no matter what, guys. It's just life and just the way it goes. I don't think I'll be able to do as many as I have been. That'll change, however, probably by, a couple months or something. We'll see how that goes. We won't get into it. Just life. It's the way she goes. Thank you for sticking around, guys. If you have any comments, let me know what you're seeing out there. Do you think video game collecting has kind of just been a big pyramid scheme for the last 10 years? That's what it seems like me. You let me know in the comments below, and you let me know how your collection is going. I like to hear from you guys on what you have in your collection and what your favorite platforms are. As always, please like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. I love talking to you guys. Have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.